Hi, everybody. This is podcast number 18 of the Knitting Posse. I'm Laura.
I'm Kim.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Lorianne.
Welcome. A couple of little housekeeping things. You hopefully may have seen that we are doing a shawl make-along, which is just through Instagram for this make-along. Goes through the end of August. And we haven't decided on prizes yet, but they'll be awesome. So please go ahead and post your shawl make-along on Instagram, and we will enjoy looking at all of them.
We'll put the hashtag below.
Yes, and we didn't realize, we just decided right after the last podcast, because we got off of the podcast and we were like, hey, we're all making shawls. Let's do a make-along.
That's how we roll.
So we hope you join us.
Yeah, it's a little informal, but yeah, but you have till the end of August, so you've got plenty of time. I've been knitting a lot of sweaters, but I'm definitely going to get to a shawl in August to join in. As always, please like and or subscribe if you enjoy our content, and post comments. I love checking in and seeing what people say. It's so fun to interact with people, so we do appreciate that. And I think that's it for basic housekeeping. So what we're wearing, it looks to me like only two of us are contributing to that.
I'm wearing an Eileen Fisher linen dress that I got on sale at Garnet Hill. Yeah, it's super cute. I've got to show it.
It is cute. I thought it was be careful. That's adorable. I thought it was a top. That's really cute.
No, it's a whole dress, and it's been my summer.
Awesome.
After my pajamas, I put this on.
Yeah.
Non-knitting.
Yeah. All right, Kate, what are you wearing?
I am wearing a dress by Garnet Hill also, the linen dress. But on top of that, I put on my droplet capelet. This is something I knit, I think at the beginning of the pandemic, I finished it. It is by Denise Bayron, and I love it. It is made from a Verb for keeping warm floating yarn, which I purchased at Espace Tricot when we could travel. And this is the first time I've really worn it. I wore it out to the mailbox and back, so that was very exciting. And I took the track out, so woohoo!
It's a hot
crazy day.
Yeah, it's very warm outside, but I keep my air down pretty low, so it's chilly in here. So it's nice wearing it in here.
It actually looks nice. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that's perfect summer air conditioning top.
Mm-hmm.
Really perfect. Yeah.
I was gonna say it looks nice with your hair up too.
Oh, thank you.
It looks pretty.
Yeah, I haven't had my after COVID haircut yet, so I put it right up.
Okay, and Lorianne, I'm pretty sure you didn't make that t-shirt, so.
I didn't, but it's in honor of my son, who's going to be starting up in a couple of weeks. My first, going off to college, and
that's big.
Just trying to keep myself distracted with knitting and keep my stuff together.
It's a good ride to knit on the way up there and back, Lorianne.
Oh, there's a story. One of my nearly FOs, I'm calling it a WIP, but it's usually at FO status in my book, is pretty much based on the 12 hours of driving that we did 2 weekends ago, because I hadn't been on campus and I needed to just have a picture. So I have a picture, and I shall.
Excellent.
Thanks. Okay, so what I'm wearing is also my only FO, and this is the Brin top. And I saw this. It's made out of Quince & Co. Kestrel, which is a Aran weight, worsted Aran weight linen. It's actually a Quince & Co. pattern. It's designed by Allison Jane. She must be an in-house designer. And I saw this on Beth McDonald Stone, who watches us. I hope she's watching this episode. And I love her aesthetic, and you'll see, I'm copying her on something else later, you'll see. But I just saw it, and I just thought it was just such a fun, it was such a quick knit, top down. I do need to pull this out. I don't have, we were having this discussion earlier, offline. I don't have very broad shoulders. I have sort of narrow sloped shoulders, and kind of feeling like top down, that's a little bit of a challenge for me sometimes. So I need to undo this. This was added at the end. I need to undo it and just go down maybe 2 needle sizes because it's sort of slipping off my shoulders. But other than that, it is perfection, and I love this. And I'm going to take the time. I'm going to say it out loud here. I'm going to take the time to undo that and redo that because I think it'll be worth it. So.
How do you like it since you blocked it? Did the fabric changes quite a bit, huh?
Yeah, I just soaked it for a while and then just lay it on top of my dryer. I didn't really do a lot of.
Oh, you didn't put it in the dryer?
I didn't. You know what? I thought you had said that, and I think you can do that with linen, but on the label it just said wash in cold water and lay flat to dry. So I might do that because it's not especially soft, but it's really, I mean, it's linen-y. It's nice. I really like it. It's loose and drapey, and I'm happy with it except for this neckline. So I just have to fix that, which won't take long, obviously. So other than that, it's good.
I like that color on you, Laura.
Thank you.
I do too.
It's a really pretty color. I think it's called Bordeaux.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's showing up a little yellowy, but it's actually quite a blue red. So it's a good red for me. And Kim, do you have any FOs? Because unfortunately my dog is scratching at the door, so I'm gonna.
Oh, okay. Yes,
do your FO, and I'm gonna let my dog out.
I finished my Anker Summer Tea by Petite Knits, and I love it. I love it. It came out great. I haven't blocked it yet. Fits like a glove, thank God. And it's made with the Sandnes Garn Line. Yeah, yep. So here it is, finished.
So pretty.
Yeah, glad I went with the large size because it fits perfect. I do not have that shoulder, and it will stretch out, right? Yeah. And I measured my length, like I made it shorter than the pattern says. I'll put my all my notes on my Ravelry page because I knew it was going to get longer, and I like a certain length. Since being long, I don't need it any longer. So happy with the way that came out, which I'm glad, because while I was knitting, I'm like, am I going to wear this thing? You know, I hate doing that, but yes, I will wear it once I block it and then weave in some ends. So that's the last of my summer sweaters for this summer. Great. Summer collection. It was only one thing. Summer collect, we'll call it.
How about you, Kate? Do you have any FOs?
I do not. No.
Okay. Lorianne?
Okay. I have an FO.
Get comfortable.
What did you say?
Get
comfortable.
I could have one, but I wanted to talk about it because I think I had started it in our last podcast. This is the middle, and I'll just do a little one side showing of my shawl, and it has the same thing on the other side. So
pretty.
It is.
What's that? I loved every moment of this, which is so unusual because you have to knit it in 2 pieces. And you would think you'd get like second half of the shawl syndrome, like second sock syndrome. Unfortunately, I have to wear it this way, in a way, because it's just too long. It blocked out too long. That's my only complaint. And so I'm not attaching tassels. I was ready to put tassels on these corners, and I'm not going to. But I will wear it this way. I'm 5'3", so I blocked out way too long. I loved absolutely everything about this. I modified some of the color placement. I did not want a blue shawl. I love this blue. I love all the yarns I used. The blue is actually called Pewter. It's a Suburban Stitcher sock that I got at Vogue Knitting Live in the Knitting Place booth. Ooh. What is it? This gray it's almost a white gray. It's called Puddle Light. It's by my girl Tara Lynn, Playful Day Yarns. And I am beyond excited that I ordered her Advent because when we get to a little later on, I'm going to show you something else I'm making in her colors, but I just love her colors. And then the minis are an assortment of, I think I showed some of these last time. A couple of the colors are from Chelsea Yarns from my Advent calendar there. And a couple are from Little Bean Loves. I think that's all. And one may be unidentified. More of this, like I said, some of these sections were supposed to be this blue color, and I just didn't want a blue shawl. I love blue, but it's really not my color to wear. So I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be more blue. You basically knit it in 4 pieces or 2 pieces, and then you join them together with these sections. This was a modification. This should have been all one color. I just wanted to use more of the colors. I was getting a lot of joy out of knitting the colors, and they're not obnoxious. I know sometimes I knit things that are really like loud and more colorful, but so I'm happy with it. I was going to give it away. I have a friend who was pretty badly hurt this summer in an accident, and I was tempted to give it away, and I love her, but I'm not sure I'm ready to. So it's called the Get Together wrap. It's by Hoki Locatelli. I'm calling it the Get It Together wrap. Keep it together. And that's also a nod to Levi from WTF Knitting. So if he happens to be watching us, hello, Levi. You were a little bit of my inspiration for that project. So that is also, I mean, as we talked about, that was part of what we were embarking on, shawl knitting. And I've had this shawl in mind since I had the minis. This is one of those projects I would knit it again. I would knit it as a gift. I don't know why. That's not my kind of thing to have to knit a half and another half, but I enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah.
Wait, don't you have one more shawl that's an FO?
All right, I'll put it in the FOs, but it's not an FO, and
it's
because
not?
It needs 41 tassels still.
Oh.
So
It's an FO.
Yeah. So this is the shawl that I knit. Rochester, New York is about a 6-hour car ride each way from where we live in Connecticut. And I went on a trip with my son up there a few weekends ago. We then went to Niagara Falls, which was another hour, and then drove back home over the span of 2 days. I knit this shawl. This is called the Lunae. It is by Natasha Hornby, who goes by Moonstruck Knits on Instagram. And I knit it in Barnyard Knits, sock fingering. And the colors, the dark brown is called Coffee Bean. I don't know if you can get a good color view
right there,
here,
it's reading well.
because our colors are usually off in Zoom. The lighter color is called Seashell, and the medium, it's a pinky brown, that's called Urchin. Never in a million years would I have been able to pick these colors and make it so that I had such trepidation thinking there's no way I'm going to have the color definition necessary for this project. And at, again, Vogue Knitting Live, so going back to January, I actually held on to them and didn't knit it, but I bought it for this project. Kim of Barnyard Knits was there in all her glorious pregnant self. And right when they opened, I went to her and I said, I want to make this. I want to make it in your yarns. Please help me pick colors. And I mean, she does such beautiful photography on her Instagram feed of her colorways. And I was really delighted, because I was very concerned once I photographed it. I did I don't know if you guys do this, the black and white view of your, so I don't know if our viewers, our Posse viewers do this also, but one of the tricks that we've been taught to ensure that you have different value in your colors and your color work to make sure that it's going to stand out is you take a picture of your yarns, and then you apply a black and white filter. And then you see if the values are different enough to have the color definition that you might need to achieve. It can also help you, if you're doing multiple color work sections, know where to place and group certain colors together.
It's surprising sometimes.
It really is, right?
Yeah. So
in this, I was getting that color definition, and I just said, all right, to myself, you got to go for it. Got to try it. This is not a beginner. This is a commitment project. It's not a beginner project. It's probably an intermediate, I would say, at a minimum. Just for the mere, for mosaic color work, which isn't the hardest, but this just required an amount of stamina. And still getting 41 tassels attached to this is going to require some stamina. But I'm determined to do that since my other shawl's not going to have the tassels, which I really wanted to put onto it. So anyway, I did talk about my friend who was injured. I'm going to give her something else. I haven't decided what, but I may knit something new. I may give something that I've knit that I don't really wear. So did I show I showed my yarns, right? Seashell, Urchin, coffee bean.
So you're guessing that shawl was 12 hours?
Oh, it was much more than that. So because it's the mosaic, and this part, let me get a section that you can actually see. Here, this is this actually I found harder. This is a textured pattern.
Really pretty.
Yeah, it's
really gorgeous. I love it. But if you don't, you're doing some of these stitches, it's not simply purl on the reverse, and you miss picking up one of these stitches, your alignment is off.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but that killed me in this process. It was very, very, it was very taxing on my patience. But that could also just be a sign of the times and my patience levels. So
well, I got to tell you, I thought you did it like this, the shawl. Like one minute you were like, put it together. Then the next 2 sentences, the photo. And like, are you, whoa.
I did not post a lot of progress pictures.
Okay.
And I think part of that might have been, I was worried about my own like stamina of getting through it a little bit. And that's not usually something that concerns me. I had mostly been knitting garments and stockinette or cables and in the round. And that's just a lot faster. Once I started this, I was thinking, oh, lace is actually slowing me down. And I got to a place where I was enjoying it. The mosaic knitting, for those of you who don't know, you have to knit 2 rows to equal 1. So, because you're slipping stitches. So your work doesn't grow as quickly as when you're knitting stockinette. So, so my next project is the stockinette project. It's my WIP.
You'll be done in 5 hours.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw in.
I'm just jealous. I'm just jealous.
I'm going to throw in, if you really struggle with that, I think that's more than an intermediate pattern, because you're
Me too.
a very strong, capable knitter that you've done everything. And if maybe it was your lack of focus because you're distracted by other things, but for you to say a pattern was a struggle, that tells me it's more than intermediate, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't poor. It's well written. That's not really it.
Required a lot of focus.
It's just the
stamina
difficulty level of the work itself. So and I will say I was on Ravelry just checking Natasha Hornby's name, the designer's name. I loved so many of her things. She did the Wolfie hat, which
I love that hat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think I have 3 of those.
Yeah, she has beautiful designs, and so it's good to challenge yourself, but maybe it's good to pick those challenges at a time when you're up for them also.
Yeah,
well, you did it, and it looks beautiful.
I don't think you were saying it was hard for you, right, Lorien? It wasn't what you were wanting to do at the time, sort of, right?
Yeah, I felt like I was working.
Yeah.
I don't like to feel like my knitting is work.
Okay.
I feel usually it's my unwind, it's my creative outlet. And look, it was a great project to be stuck in the car with for me, because I had nothing else. I had no other options. I didn't bring any other projects. I didn't bring my monogamous, I'm going to call it my monogamy blanket, not monogamous, but it's because it's my second husband's blanket, which I'm staying on top of as well. But that too right now has become more of I need to do a square today, rather than, I get to do a square today. We'll see.
I think you have a lot going on right now, and it's just the time where you are,
And it's also, I was talking to somebody, it's been really hot and humid here. And even if you're not doing much physical activity, it's very draining, this kind of heat. So that could be it too. It's probably a combination of things.
Yeah.
Anyway, I already showed.
Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I already showed my FO, so now we are on to WIPs.
Okay. I finished my sweater last week. I was away for a week and a half. It was awesome. We went to Cape Cod, and it was just my husband and I and another couple. And they are the kind of couple that I can knit with the whole time. So they read, I knit, everybody was happy. So after I finished that, I couldn't wait to cast on my shawl. And I cast on the Breathe and Hope by Casapinka. I'm making this for a friend who has helped me breathe and hope lately, and she loves the water, and I think that these colors, she's a new friend, so I think that she'll be happy with these colors. I am using Emma's yarn. Oops, I don't know if you could see that there. Emma's yarn, and it is in 2 different colors. One is Calypso. That's reading very bright. It's a little more green than that, and Set Sail. So they look, and it's 20% silk, 80 merino. So it's
nice.
Very soft, and it's going to drape nicely.
Is that the yarn it was designed in?
You know what? No, I don't think it is. But she does have a kit for it on her website, and that's how I found it. My daughter's name is Emma, so all things named Emma make me happy. So I had to look at it, and then I saw the colors, and yeah, it was through a website down in Florida. Like I said, through that Casapinka's link sent you to. And I was just reading about Emma's yarn, and she's 15 years old. Yeah, I know, right? She's a homeschooled girl, and she said she was doing a math lesson when she fell in love with dyeing yarn.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I know, she was dyeing a small batch for fun when learning about ratios and got addicted. Cool. So her parent, or I guess she comes from a big weaving, knitting family. So I thought that was cute. So she's out of Winter Haven, Florida. It's been a fun pattern to follow. But I'm kind of like, I want to be done. I wish I could knit faster. Let's say.
Oh, pretty.
I'm puckering there a little bit because these are the same. It's that mosaic slip stitch. So you're right, Lorianne. I never realized it took 2 rows to make, 1 row. So I'm glad you had mentioned that last week when we were talking. So it will block out beautifully, and I think my friend will enjoy a little surprise gift in the mail.
The color's gorgeous.
Yeah. I think she has dark curly hair. It will look pretty on her. Yeah. So
that's a very nice gift.
Yeah. So she's, like I said, helping me breathe in hope lately. So I thank her.
She's not a knitter?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
So you'll have to give her the name of the shawl and tell her.
I will, definitely. That's kind of why I picked that pattern when I was drawn to that. And then, of course, Emma's yarn had to support another Emma.
Yeah.
So
nice.
It's been fun to knit. Thank you. Yeah. So hopefully that'll be done soon, because I have a lot of things I want to knit. Don't we all? Yeah.
Kate, do you have any WIPs?
I do. I have 2 WIPs. So my first WIP is my Circlet Shrug. I talked a little bit about it last time. I'm making it in mYak Tibetan Cloud in the Wild Daisy colorway. And it is a pattern by Nora Gong. And I saw it on an episode of the Knitting Yak, which is Paula from mYak speaking with Nora Gong.
Wow.
Oh. So I have both of the fronts done, and I'm about halfway done with the back right now.
Dude, you're cooking on that.
Gorgeous.
You know what? Lorien what Lorien said, this is my keep it together piece. Like, I really needed something that I had to focus on, like that I had to pay attention to. I couldn't just do the mindless knitting anymore, because I needed my mind to be busy with something other than everything else that's going on in the world right now. Like, it was just getting to be too much, and this has been perfect. And like you said, like I think I had just started this 2 weeks ago, and I really do feel like for a pattern like this, I am going pretty quickly.
Yeah, no kidding. It's gorgeous, Kate.
It is gorgeous.
The yarn is so good. It's definitely next to Skin Soft. And you know, I don't like farmy yarns. I love soft. So it's definitely soft, but it's crisp so that the stitch definition is just, I love it.
It's going to block beautifully too.
Mm-hmm.
What weight is that yarn?
It is a sport weight, I believe. Let me look. I think it's sport. I don't think yes, it's sport weight. Yep. And if you subscribe to the mYak newsletter, you get a discount code every time she has another episode on the Knitting Yak. And I love a good coupon. So I bought this with the discount code after the Nora Gone episode. And I can't say enough about it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So that is one WIP. And then I do have my little shawl for our make along that I had started last time. It has not seen much love lately. I did do a couple of repeats on it yesterday just so I would have something to show. This is in the Qing Fibres. It is called Soft Gray, and I bought this at the Knitting Place from our friend Dinah. And the shawl pattern is called Venezia, and it's by Joji Locatelli. And I'm enjoying it. The yarn is a little more speckly than what I normally go for. Actually, it's a lot more speckly than what I normally go for.
You mean solid?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a little more, I don't know, kind of Easter eggy, the colors. So I'm not sure it's going to be my cup of tea. Maybe it will be a gift for someone. I'm not sure. We'll see once I get it done and blocked. But I love the pattern, and I love it has the lace panels on both sides, and then it has like a twisted stitch down the middle.
Nice.
It's really, I think that's so pretty. And sometimes a highly speckled and variegated yarn can really interfere with a lace, but I feel like I can see that lace. I almost feel like, is the Qing striped? Like it's pooling in such almost a stripy way.
Let's see.
Well, it's just
no, I think it's just very
variegated.
Speckly.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I think it's kind of coming out cool for
it's similar. So I wanted a color that was kind of similar. It's really hard to see to the color that Joji had used in the original, but hers is definitely not as speckly as what mine is.
Yeah, but you're also in the narrow spot, so that could be that they're just kind of, and as it gets wider,
it could be. And the other thing is, like, I put this back, so like if I hold it against something that's a little darker and like a plain color, like I might like it as like a pop of color and fun in my life and wardrobe.
And Kate, you might not wear it as a shawl, so it might be just crunched up around your neck, so you won't even really see. You'll have color, but not.
It's a long, thin. I don't know if there's a picture of the whole thing here. It's a long, thin pattern. So yeah, here, look at. See, so.
Yeah.
Chances are you're going to wrap that around a couple times.
Exactly. Yeah. But not tight.
And just like she has it, looks like she's wearing a black or a dark solid dress, and then it's this lovely pop of color. That's going to be great. I think I'm going to make this. It looks fun to knit.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
So
and great one skein project.
Yes, definitely. It's only one skein. You do have to kind of go back and forth in the pattern because you have to read the chart for the lace parts, and then there's written directions for the middle part and then charts for the lace part. So you have to kind of go back and forth. So I kind of put them on one page so that I wouldn't have to go back and forth. So that made it easier. But I think it's easier to follow when it's on one page than flipping the pages back and forth. So
I do that sometimes. I print, like, if a chart is smaller on the page and I need it larger, or do you know what I mean? I just think that if that makes the knitting more enjoyable, because you can see the instructions.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah. I wonder how many designers think about even like the pagination. You know, if you're doing a section that you have to repeat and you have to keep flipping your back and forth in a page.
Well, so actually I'm on section 3 now, and you do, so the first part of section 3 is on page 3 and the second part of section 3 is on page 4. So I kind of folded page 3 and I stick it next to page 4 so that I can see both parts of section 3 at one time. And then I also have my pencil and my checklist that I made because I like that. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. But
me too. Only I can like interpret my notes on this thing. If I ever gave it to you, you'd be like, oh my God, how many checks does she have next to that? Or she counted every row. What the heck? It's my own science. Yeah.
Did Hohi use a Qing color, or did she use a different yarn?
Yeah, I don't think so. Let me look what she used. I'm not sure what the original was knit in. Merino singles by I can't even, I'm not even gonna try and say it. Yoshishita?
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what she used.
Got it.
But Dinah had the Qing, so that's what I bought.
Yeah.
So that's your 2 FOs, WIPs, right?
Those are my 2 WIPs, yeah. And I'm hoping that I can get this shawl done by the end of August, but my focus right now is my circlet shrug. And I think I'm going to be sad when it's done. Like, I really, really am enjoying it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Lorianne, WIPs?
I have
like you're working on something right now.
I have 4 stitches. Nope, 2. I'm in the middle of a row, I realized, which doesn't happen that often.
You want me to go?
Okay, I'm good. I sat for so far this summer. When did I order that? Maybe in June or May, with some more of Taralyn. Can you see that? Playful Day.
Playful Day.
With her yarns. I ordered from one of her updates before I ordered the Advent. And it included a mini skein set. And I just sort of sat and stared at these colors and thought, what am I going to make out of this? Usually I have a plan before I have yarn. I have a pattern. But sometimes Taralyn's yarns get too tempting for me. And I decided that I was going to knit. Let me back up, because this is only 2 days in, I think. I'm loving it so far, but I might not. And so it may become a get together wrap if I'm not loving it in reality. This, so hard to see what the heck it is.
I know what it is.
A simple summer striped sweater. No.
Nope.
We did the Felix with stripes?
It's a rocket tee.
Rocket tee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You
can't see the newest stripe. This is my main color. It's like a cream. It's called Milk and Honey. This is my next color. It's a blown out. It's a soft pink. The first was a gray with a little bit of colors in it, and then I have a bright pink, a softer minty gray green. I know that's like a horrible description. A soft yellow and a mustardy yellow. These are just what she had in a mini 6-color mini skein set, and I don't own a lot of. So it's a rocket tee. It's by Tanis Lavalley from Tanis Fibre Arts. Kate knit one, and she showed it on our last
one, the green. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Yep, in these beautiful greens. Everyone knows, unless you're new, it's your first time, I hate mohair. Admitting it, confessing it. But I really thought that was it was a fun pattern. And wouldn't it be fun to use these minis in the stripes? And then as Kate was knitting it, I was saying, how many grams are you using for the stripes, the fingering? And do I think I'll have enough? So I'm knitting the 41, which is, I think, a size up from what you knit, Kate. I just want it to be blousey and loose. And I think that I'm not going to have a perfect amount. I'm probably 15 yards short on the main color, but I'm not going to make it as long as it probably calls for, because not that it's going to be cropped. It's a long sweater. So, and I think it will block a little differently being in all fingering and no mohair. So I'm having fun.
It looks great so far. I love it.
I'm having fun with it.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't think my personal goal is I want to finish it before I go to Rochester on the 12th of August, which I think,
it's quick.
Yeah, I think it's going to be doable because
I
need to have some.
Started.
What's that?
I would think you could finish it before August started on Friday.
Well,
especially without the mohair in it.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't think so. I'm not sure. We'll see when it gets to being fully in the round.
Oh, it's easy.
But yeah. And I think I'll do the motif. There's a little side, I don't know, design detail that I think I'll probably keep in it.
It's
I really don't.
Similar to the raglan detail in the sleeve.
This little eyelet.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of sweaters that are striped. I noted. And I'm not sure how I'll feel at the end of the road here, but I felt like I should at least try it. I like that it's a V-neck. It'll be blousey. We'll see. I don't wear a lot of summer sweaters. I just don't find them useful, comfortable, but someday I'm going to live somewhere warmer all year. So we'll see.
Well, maybe your friend who had the accident would like a striped sweater. This doesn't
She
work
might,
out.
but this would be too, she's more endowed. So
okay.
this probably not her size, but I've thought very hard about what I might do. And I have a pile of yarn I've been staring at that just hasn't really come together. I have some yarn left from this, and I had a few different color ideas. So I ended up caking up 2 skeins I haven't touched yet. So
I think the Rocket Tee is going to be good, Lorianne, and her colors are so, they're sort of
soft.
muted. So it's not really, soft. It's not really a stripe in your face, stripey sweater. I think it's going to be gorgeous.
Here's the colors. I put them on my Instagram.
Yeah.
So some of them are a little bright.
Right, but they're not all of them. So I think it's going to be beautiful.
So I'm very excited. I'm excited because I keep threatening to knit a sample of something or a gift of something to Tara Lynn because she was so generous towards me and she hasn't really picked anything out. And I felt like, well, maybe if I try something else, she'll be inspired and figure out what to send me. I absolutely think that this shawl in her yarns would be
amazing.
Stunning. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stunning. She's been redesigning her dye shed or building a dye shed and getting out of her home. And so she's not had an update in a while. But when you do catch one, oh man.
They're beautiful. The colors are just, they're so pretty, so soft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she just has a beautiful aesthetic.
Yeah.
So I'm excited I've enjoyed working with this. And I don't know, there's also still something about the working in some different colors. These are not so bright and obnoxious as some of the other obnoxious. I loved them. My other projects this spring that were very colorful, but
they're not obnoxious. They're colorful.
Yeah, I know. I know. So we'll see. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at. I did a swatch. I didn't look, and my gauge. Well, I did a me swatch, and my gauge was okay. But I'm feeling like, my stripes are like an inch each. I don't know if yours came out that way too.
I don't know, and I didn't measure them before blocking, so I'm not really sure. But that's my swatch right there. So it fit, and so I kept going.
Swatch fit.
Right. Now you joined your V-neck early, right? Earlier than the pattern, or no?
Oh, nope.
No, that was me on a previous project.
Oh, got it. Okay.
No, I did it 2 pattern. So I think the pattern calls for a 4-stitch I-cord on the edging in the mohair.
That's right.
3-stitch I-cord in the finger.
Solid. Right.
Right. Well, I'm just going to have to see where my yardage ends up because I'm dealing with 20-gram minis.
Right.
And I'm hoping, I don't know, I forgot to ask you where you finished and how many stripes. It's always easier. Let's just, it's always easier to know someone who's knit something before you.
Yes.
But we do that. We look at the projects on Ravelry, and it's really one of our most valuable tools.
Oh, absolutely.
Deciding what we're, if a pattern's going to be appealing in the end, and see what other people did for modifications and where they tripped up and things like that. I mean, it's very valuable. So that's part of my challenge with this project. Not that it's going to stress me out, because I'm not going to let it. If I have to make the stripe more narrow, I can, but I'm alternating them all with the main color.
So can you finish the I-cord edging in the cream? Will you have enough of that? That would be really good.
I hope so. And it's one of Tara Lynn's standard colors when she does start dyeing. So if she's watching and I'm desperate, I'm hoping she'll dye them again. Or maybe maybe I could get a mini. It's one of her standard, colors, one of her regular colors.
Lorianne, my pictures are in my Ravelry project page, so you can count the stripes there. How many I did.
I have 6 colors, so I feel like it's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's beautiful. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
I figured if I had to narrow the stripes getting down to the waist, that would be flattering also to have smaller, I think. I tend to stay away from horizontal stripes.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. But they look good. Kim's wearing them.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, is that
it? Pants. No horizontal pants.
No.
Sorry, you're up, Laura.
That's your last WIP? Only WIP? Okay. Yeah. All right, so as I kind of alluded to before, I found out about this sweater, the Brin, by seeing a post by Beth McDonald Stone. And I also made the Anker tee in that Sandnes Garn Line yarn, which I absolutely loved. And at the time, I had really wanted to have a bright white, and I really wanted to get it, but I couldn't get my hands on it. So I knit, and I love the one I knit, which is in a gray blue color. And then somebody said, oh, Dinah, maybe I saw her post. I can't remember. A few people actually let me know that Dinah was getting more of that yarn in. And so I immediately went on and grabbed some white and was planning to knit another Anker sweater. And then Beth McDonald Stone, who lives in Bermuda and knits gorgeous, gorgeous things and designs too, she posted that she had made the Roving Summer top by Irene Lynn. And not sure what it calls for, but she knit it in the line yarn, and I loved it. Hers was black, like the dark gray black. So I decided to use my white for that, and I love this. Talk about like a fun knit. This is, it's kind of a funky knit. You start with it not in the round. You do some rows, then you join in the round, and then I'm on the back sort of creating the sleeve opening, and then I'll do the front, and then you rejoin it in the round. It looks like a hot mess right now, but it is, I love this yarn. It is so soft. I love this bright white. I think it's a good color for me. I'm very fair, so I have to be very careful with whites, but a bright white works for me. And it's so fun to knit. It's like all I want to do is get everything done so that I can sit back down and knit, and I'm very excited. But that's probably my last, but that's probably my last sort of real summer.
I think you said that with your last summer sweater.
I know, but then I keep been more inspired to do summer knits this summer than any other summer before.
I know.
I don't know if
there's no sleeves. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I do like that a lot, I have to say. Or if there's sleeves, they're this
right.
Long, But and this top is the same. You literally just pick up
a little cap
and do a few rows, and then just a very simple. So it's, once you've finished with the body, there's hardly anything to do, and
it's a treat.
So
pretty.
So I was going to ask you guys a question of like, once we hit fall, is there something in your mind that you can't wait to get to? Because I'm already like, it's still too hot to think about knitting with wool. I'll call on you. Yes, hold on one second. I'm just wondering, what?
Oh, acquisitions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. Before we do that, I was just going to say, I've knit Irene patterns before. I've knit her boho mosaic style shawl, and I actually is one of the ones I've knit twice, and I really enjoyed it. I think her designs are lovely. I think she, from what I remember, her mosaic charts are very well done too. And I was just peeking as you mentioned her name because it rang a bell and I couldn't recall what I had knit from her. Her designs are really varied in style. So I like her. I recommend her as a designer.
Yeah, I love this. And I will say, I think the pattern's really well written, easy to follow, and because there's a lot of kind of complicated stuff at the top, but I've had no problem following it, and I'm excited.
That's great.
Anyway, so sorry, Kate.
That's okay.
Because I have no acquisitions. I completely forgot about acquisitions.
I did that to you the last time.
Oh, okay. I'm paying you back now. Kim, do you have any acquisitions?
Just my Emma's yarn that.
Kate, do you have some acquisitions?
I do.
Oh.
I do.
Surprise.
So I said earlier I can't resist a good coupon, and Casey from Port Fibre in Portland, Maine had a coupon on her newsletter last week or the week before for her birthday, and it was one day only, and I don't remember what the percentage off was, but she is a distributor of the Cashmere People yarns. And I have used that yarn before and gushed about it before. That is what I knit my ranunculus in. And I love, love, love that sweater. It is one of my most worn sweaters, and it's just, I love it. So I decided that I would get some yarn to do a sweater that I had been eyeing since Vogue Knitting. We saw it at the Brooklyn General Store booth. It was knit and designed in La Bien-Aimée, but I am going to make the Old School by Vera Vellamaki, and I can show you the picture. I brought it up, and I am so excited for this. Here's the picture. So it's a kind of an all over lace. They held, I believe, a fingering and a mohair together. The Cashgora that I bought is a sport weight. So I will just be using the Cashgora on its own. And this is it.
How many skeins does it take?
So beautiful.
3.
Oh, that's 3 what a beautiful color.
Oh,
it is a beautiful.
Tell you, it's so, like, I've been patting it for the past 20 minutes. Like, it's just so good. It's so soft. So this yarn is really interesting. It's a collective in Afghanistan and Tajikistan, and they've taught these women how to spin the yarn, and they make money now for their families and help support their families. So my yarn was spun by Sanabar, and they give you her name, and you can look up her profile on the Cashmere People website. She has 5 children. She lives with her mother-in-law, and her husband goes off to Russia for 4 to 5 months a year to work, and she uses the money she makes spinning to support their family while he's away and working. Wow. So I just think it's a really cool story. The yarn is made from Cashgora goats, which are like cashmere goats, but the thread is a little more sturdy, they said, and longer than the cashmere. So it's a little more durable, and it doesn't pill as much as cashmere. Oh, and I find my ranunculus does not pill all that much, and I've worn it a lot. So I am so excited for this, and I just love this green.
I'm gonna go check them out.
Yeah, it's beautiful color.
I also, well, she was having a sale. I knit my husband Rich a sweater every year, and it's getting to be about that time when he's going to start asking, where's my sweater? What's my sweater? Where's my sweater? So I loved working with the Harrisville Nightshades yarn when I made the Gulfstream pullover, which Beth McDonald Stone designed. We actually, Lorien and I test knit it. And I loved working with this yarn. So I bought a sweater's quantity of this. I don't know if you can see you see the green in there? So this is, I was on a theme. This is the colorway VCR, and it's like a black yarn speckled with a green. So actually, I have a question for our viewers. I'm looking for a pattern to knit Rich's sweater. He has a flax and he has a cobblestone. The one pattern I came up with was called the Fort by Jarrett Flood. But if you have any sweaters for men that you like knitting, please put them in the comments below.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is a DK, like heavy DK weight.
It could be worsted.
Call it. It could, yeah. And you could knit it as worsted. So
I think you can't go wrong with the Jared Flood pattern. I think his men's sweaters are stunning.
The cobblestone that I knit last year is Jared Flood.
Yeah,
so that was a beautiful sweater.
That was one of his very first sweaters, because that wasn't even a Brooklyn Tweeds pattern. That was
his own.
It was in Interweave Knits, right? Didn't I give you that copy?
I'm not sure where.
Yeah, I think it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't even. I think it was before Brooklyn Tweed.
Yeah.
But I love his men's sweater. I love all his sweaters, all the Brooklyn Tweed, but the men's, his designs in particular, are just so beautiful.
They're very well written too. So
Yeah.
So that was my big splurge. Happy birthday, Casey. Thank you so much. And Rich and I are going to kind of twin out. We actually just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
So
nice.
Yep. So now we're going to start looking alike by wearing these things.
That's what happens after 25 years. You start wearing the same stuff.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times Des and I will be going out, and obviously this hasn't happened recently because we don't really go out right now, where we come down and we've dressed separately, and I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah,
like
we've done the same thing.
Colors, you know, it's like, no way.
Just start laughing. Laughing.
Yeah. So those are my acquisitions. Thank you, Laura, for giving me the time to speak about those.
Sorry. Lorianne, do you have any acquisitions?
No, I just wanted to, Kate was just asking about men's sweater suggestions, and I agree with those designers, but I also just recently saw a newer knitting podcast, and it's hosted by a gentleman named Caleb, and he just started and he just did a brief intro, which I thought was very smart to do it and keep it quick, but I also have looked in his feed, so I would check out Drowning in Yarn, because he has some really, I think, some really great sweaters.
Is that his Instagram?
That's his Instagram, and it's also his YouTube channel. So he's already got more followers than we do on Instagram, but I think he's
just work on that.
Yeah, he just started his YouTube channel, so it's building. But I think his feed would be an interesting one for male sweater suggestions.
I will check it out. Yeah. So.
All right. So back to my last question, I think, and then we're done. What are you guys, like, after you're done with anything sort of summary, what are you looking forward to knitting first in the fall? And if you don't have an answer, I kind of sprung this. This wasn't planned. I was thinking about it because I'm.
All right, Laura, you're going to be sick of hearing, and Kate, I've talked about this sweater forever, the no frill sweater.
Yeah.
I just can't find the perfect yarn for it. So it's going to happen this year.
It's the petite knits. It's just
the petite knits, no frill sweater. That's my style.
Really simple, great sweater. So you'll find something.
I will.
Okay.
I need to go to a store. That's the thing. I'm more of a, I want to see it live. I don't like to shop online.
We might need to plan a road trip.
I know, I'm ready.
And bring masks and, you know, just. Oh.
Yeah.
Kate, do you have anything that comes to mind or no?
Well, I'll be busy making Rich's sweater TBD out of this. And I think when the circlet shrug is done, I think I won't be able to not cast this on. So
yeah,
this is going to be the Old School by Vera Velimaki.
How are you doing knitting such a kind of a big, bulky, woolly sweater? I mean, I know you keep your AC down, but like I feel like I couldn't have that on my lap right now.
Oh, I love it on my lap because it's cold in here.
All right, so I just have to turn my AC down.
Yep.
All right, Lorianne,
Kate has frost on her windows.
I know. That's why you can't see through them.
Lorianne, do you have anything that you can think of that?
Yeah, I always have things I'm planning. I feel like my mind is always still, even when I'm knitting something, I'm thinking about what's next, and I should really be trying to just enjoy what I'm knitting.
Stay in the moment, Lori.
So I'm going to show you this, but I'm not going to knit it, and I'll tell you why after it goes into what we were talking about. Can you see that? It's called Shiola. And to be honest, what attracted me were those sleeves.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of knitting, I have the yarn. So I ordered this rust yarn, which I showed, I don't know, like a month or so ago from Stress Knits from Stacey.
What weight? Is it a fingering weight?
Yep, it's a fingering weight.
It's very pretty.
And I really thought this was a pretty sweater. It is. It's a beautiful sweater. But then I went and looked, and so I thought, oh, maybe I'll use the yarn with that. And I also have some Surrey it's a light gauge, so it might be. It's probably fingering, but it may be a little closer to lace. And I was thinking I could make this with all of the color work just in one color. But then I looked at the projects on Ravelry, and I feel like what I'm loving about this is the sleeve, and the sleeves on different people's aren't just misshapen. Like they're not looking as good as this. And so that's what's really attracting me. Then that might not be meant to be. So I am still thinking about a pink velvet, which is.
I do like that.
I do too.
I was going to pull up a picture, which I'll work on.
Is your Surrey, is it a bold color? I forget. No.
It's very subtle. Okay. It's a soft, it's a very, very light pink, if anything. Here's a picture.
Oh, you got it?
Yep.
You're quicker than me. Yeah.
So that is a short,
very pretty
sleeve version. I probably have enough yarn to knit along, which is probably what I do. And so that is definitely an option, I think, because I've been staring at that yarn for already 3 months. Every day it's on my work table. So that is probably it. I also have a sweater's quantity of a heavier weight yarn, but I have 2 patterns I'm looking at for that. But then I'm not really rushing to knit anything. I don't feel like compelled. I did order some yarn. I don't know when I'll get it. I ordered some yarn from Celeste, who is Sweet Nesting, and she only does custom dye orders. And she has a price list, and you can pick colors from whatever's in her feed. So not sure when I'll get that, but I think that's going to go into. I've actually mentally been thinking, are we going into another lockdown? What will I do with myself? Right? I guess it's just, yeah. So if I say it, then it may have to come true. I thought if we go into another lockdown, I'm learning crochet. And I might crochet a blanket, because why not? I've been on this blanket kick. But I feel like this is like therapy and confession time. But I don't know how to do that. But I saw, I don't have this picture handy. I saw a picture of a blanket that was knit. It's a northeasterly pattern, which is by, I want to say, Skinanigans. So I'll talk about that more. I have to see them when it gets here, whenever she dyes it. So
yeah. All right. Well, so mine was, this is what made me think of it, is that loft order that I got early in the pandemic when, it was like trying to support your local yarn store. And I actually got it through Brooklyn Tweed, but I was able to name my local yarn store because they carry it and that they got some of the sale benefit from it. And there are 2 sweaters. One was definitely Emily Green's Tensile, which has just been on my mind for a long time. And I can't remember the name of the other one I talked about at the time, but I'm excited for the weather to cool off a little bit so that I can tackle those. But that's why I was thinking about it. But anyone else have anything else to add? I have no acquisitions. I did order something today, actually, that I hopefully will have for the next podcast with a great story that goes along with it, but I'll leave it at that. Anyone? All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Again, podcast number 18. Don't forget to hit like or subscribe if you liked our ramblings about yarn and knitting. Go ahead.
We did want to talk about one thing, which is our Instagram accounts.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So we do list we have a knitting posse, knitting_posse is our group account, and we try to, when we individually comment in there about something or post one of our projects, we try to indicate who's speaking, whose voice it is.
I often forget.
Yep, me too.
And then we have our individual knitting accounts, and then we have our individual personal accounts, and sometimes those are somewhat close in name. So I go by Golf Boys with a Z. Mom Knits is my knitting account, but I do also have Golf Boys Mom, and that's a private account. I have family pictures in there, so and my knitting account is wide open. So if you follow me, you could go right there. If you try my personal account, it's I don't remember what it's called, but it's not an open account, and I don't really use it very often, but I don't put knitting in there, so it's the wrong one.
And I think Kim has something similar, even though her knits aren't similar. I don't think I've noticed it, but because I also have a personal one that's private and I don't post a lot. But
I pretty much just do my Kim Knit now, and then the knitting posse. I hardly go on my personal one, but I saw a couple new names pop up on that I didn't know who wasn't family members. So, but Kim Knit. Okay, cool.
All right. Well, thanks very much for watching.
Thank you.
We'll see you
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.